Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Baibhab Dey and you are watching Unplanned Pulse. In today's video, we are going to solve previous year questions of MAKAUT Engineering Economics 2023 and 2024. These questions are extremely important because similar patterns are repeated. I also explain each answer exactly how you should write it in exam. Make sure you watch this video till the end. Let's start with our first question paper. So this is our short questions. Now let's see the answers of them. You just note down these short question answers. I'm not going to explain these short question answers. Now let's go to the group B part. In group B part there will be 5 questions and you need to do 3 questions of them. Okay, now we will do all of them, but in exam you need to do 3 questions only. What are the 3 types of cash flows presented on the statement of cash flows? That is, the statement of cash flows present cash movements of a business under the main types of activities. Operating activities. This includes cash flows related to the main business operations of firm. Examples: cash received from customers, cash paid to suppliers, wages, rent and taxes. It shows the firm's ability to generate cash from its core activities. Number 2, investing activities. These involve cash flows related to the purchase and sale of long-term assets and investments. Examples: purchase or sale of machinery, land, buildings or investment in securities. Number 3, financing activities. These include cash flows related to raising and repaying capital. Examples: issue of shares of debentures, repayment of loans, payment of dividends. Together, these 3 cash flows explain how cash is generated and used during an accounting period. Now let's see the next question. Next question is, what is green engineering? Answer is, green engineering is an approach to engineering that focuses on the design, development and operation of systems and processes in a way that minimizes environmental impact and promotes sustainability. It aims to use resources efficiently, reduce waste and pollution, and protect human health and the environmental throughout the entire life cycle of a product or system. Green engineering encourages the use of renewable energy, eco-friendly materials and energy efficient technologies. It also emphasizes recycling, reuse and waste reduction in manufacturing and construction processes. By considering environmental, economic and social factors together, green engineering supports sustainable development. Next question is, write a short note on expenditures on depreciable assets by the business firms. Answer will be, business firms often incur expenditures on non-depreciable assets, which are assets that do not lose value due to wear and tear and generally have an indefinite useful life. The most common example of a non-depreciable asset is land. Since such assets are not consumed in the production process, depreciation is not charged on them. Expenditures on non-depreciable assets are treated as capital expenditures and are recorded on the balance sheet rather than being expensed in the income statement. These costs represent long-term investments that help firms in business expansion, local advantage and future growth. Although the asset itself is non-depreciable, improvements made to it such as land development, fencing, roads or buildings constructed on land are depreciable because they have a limited useful life. Therefore, firms must carefully distinguish between the cost of the non-depreciable asset and the cost of depreciable improvements. Now let's go to the next question. Our next question is there any necessity of discrete probability distribution? Answer will be, a discrete probability distribution is necessary when the outcomes of a random experiment are countable and finite or countably infinite. Many real life and engineering problems involve outcomes that occur in distinct values, making discrete distributions essential for proper analysis. Discrete probability distributions help in quantifying uncertainty by assigning probabilities to each possible outcome. They are widely used in engineering economy decision analysis, quality control, reliability analysis, and risk assessment, where outcomes such as number of failures, number of customers, or number of defective items occur in whole numbers. They also allow engineers and managers to calculate expected values, variance, and risk, which support better planning and decision making. Without discrete probability distributions, it would be difficult to model uncertain situations involving countable events accurately. Now let's go to the next question. Our next question is, estimation is the foundation of economic analysis. Answer is, estimation is the process of predicting future costs, benefits, revenues, and resource requirements of a project or decision. It is called the foundation of economic analysis because all economic evaluations depend on the accurate and realistic estimates. In engineering and economic analysis, decisions such as project selection, cost-benefit analysis, feasibility studies, and investment appraisal require estimated values of cost and returns. Without proper estimation, comparisons between alternatives would be reliable and misleading. Estimation also helps in budgeting, planning, pricing, and risk assessment. Good estimates reduce uncertainty and enable managers and engineers to make sound and informed decisions. Poor estimation, on the other hand, can lead to cost overruns, losses, and project failures. Let's go to the next question. Here, this is our last part of this question, long answer type questions. So let's see the first question and its answer. The first question is, what is the benefit cost ratio? The benefit cost ratio is a financial appraisal tool used in engineering economics and project evaluation to compare the total expected benefits of a project with its total expected costs, both expressed in present value terms. Explanation. It measures the economic efficiency of a project, helps in deciding whether the benefits justify the costs, used mainly for public sector and government projects, considers the time value of money by discounting future cash flows, useful for comparing multiple alternative projects. A higher BCR indicates a more economically desirable project. Now the next question is, what is benefit cost ratio used for? The benefit cost ratio used to evaluate the economic feasibility of a project by comparing its benefits with its costs. The next question is, what does a benefit cost ratio over 1.0 suggest? A benefit cost ratio greater than 1.0 indicates that the benefit of the project exceeds its costs. The project is economically viable and acceptable. The next question is, what are the limitations of the benefit cost ratio? Difficulty in estimating benefits accurately, especially intangible benefits. Number 1, sensitive to discount rate selection, which can change results significantly. Number 2, ignores project scale, as a small project may have a higher benefit cost ratio but lower total benefit. Number 3, time consuming calculations for large projects which long lifespans. And number 4, assumes all benefits and costs can be quantified monetarily, which is not always possible. And the last point is, may give misleading results when comparing mutually exclusive projects. In next question we have, what is the time value of money? The time value of money is the concept that money available today is worth more than the same amount of money in future, because money today can be invested to earn interest. Our next question is, what is the difference between annually and continuously compounding interest? So here are 4 points: meaning, formula, growth, and usage. So in annual compounding, interest is added once per year, and in continuous compounding, interest is added continuously. Annual compounding formula is A equals to P into 1 plus R to the power T, where P is the principal amount here also, okay, and R is the interest rate and T is time. Growth in annual compounding, slower growth compared to continuous, and continuous compounding is faster growth. Usage of annual compounding is banks, fixed deposits, etc. And in continuous compounding, usage is theoretical finance and advanced models. What does the net present value mean? Net present value is the difference between the present value of cash inflows and present value of cash outflows of a project, discounted at a required rate of return. A positive net present value indicates the project is profitable and should be accepted, while a negative net present value indicates rejection. The next question is, why is the time value of money important? The time value of money important because money available today is worth more than the same amount in future due to earning potential, inflation, risk and opportunity cost. It helps in investment appraisal, capital budgeting, loan valuation and financial decision making. Now let's go to the next question. Next question is, explain the improvement with learning curve. The learning curve represents the relationship between experience and efficiency. It shows that as workers repeat a task, the time or cost required to perform that task decreases due to learning and improvement skill. Improvements explained: increase in worker skill, repetition improves accuracy and speed. Number 2, reduction in the time per unit. Each additional unit requires less time than the previous one. Number 3, better use of tools and methods. Workers learn the most efficient way of performing tasks. Number 4, reduction in errors and rework. Experience minimizes mistakes. Number 5, lower labor and production cost. Improved efficiency reduces cost per unit. Number 6, improved planning and scheduling. Predictable performance helps in better forecasting. Number 7, standardization of operations. Best practices get established over time. What is triangulation? In economics, triangulation is a cost estimation technique used to estimate the cost of a project, product or activity by comparing and combining estimates obtained from 3 or more different methods or data sources. The final estimate is delivered by reconciling these values to arrive at a more reliable and realistic cost. Triangulation is commonly used in managerial economics and project appraisal, where exact cost data is uncertain or unavailable. Sources used in triangulation: past or historical data, cost of similar projects executed earlier, expert opinion, estimates provided by experienced professionals, analytical and model-based estimation, mathematical or statistical cost models. Importance in economics: reduces bias and estimation errors, improves accuracy of cost forecast, and helps in better planning and budgeting. Useful when market conditions are uncertain. Next question is, what are the advantages of future worth? Advantages of future worth method. The future worth method advantages: considers time value of money by compounding cash flows to a common future point. Number 2, simple and logical approach for projects with known future objectives. Number 3, useful for long-term investment planning such as retirement funds and saving plans. Number 4, allows comparison of alternative projects having different cash flows patterns. Number 5, clearly shows accumulated wealth at the end of the project life. Number 6, suitable for reinvestment decisions where future value is more relevant than present value. Number 7, helps in capital budgeting decisions by evaluating profitability at project completion. Number 8, accepts variable cash flows occurring at different times. Next question is, what are the disadvantages of future worth? Disadvantages of future worth method. Number 1, highly sensitive to interest rate selection, which can distort results. Number 2, less intuitive than present value, especially for decision makers focused on current money. Number 3, not suitable for short-term projects where future accumulation is less meaningful. Number 4, difficult to estimate future cash flows accurately due to uncertainty. Number 5, ignores interim cash flow usability, focusing only on final future value. Number 6, may give misleading results when comparing projects of unequal lifespans. Number 7, does not directly show immediate affordability or initial investment burden. Next question is, how is CPI or customer price index used to measure inflation? The customer price index is used to measure inflation by tracking changes in the average price level of a fixed basket of goods and services consumed by households over time. Explanation. Number 1. A base year CPI is fixed, usually taken as 100. Prices of selected goods and services are collected periodically. The cost of basket is current year is compared with the base year. Number 4. The percentage change in CPI over time represents the rate of inflation. Number 5. A rising CPI indicates an increase in the cost of living. The next question is, does an increase in CPI mean inflation? Yes, an increase in CPI indicates inflation, as it shows a general rise in the price level of goods and services over time. Next question is, what are the probability distribution for annual benefit and life of a project? For this question, the annual benefit most likely value is 8,000 with a probability of 60%. There is 30% probability that it will be 5,000, and the highest likely value 10,000. A life of 6 years in twice as likely as life of 9 years. So the math problem is here done clearly. You just note it down, and if you have a problem, then ask me in the comment section. This is our next question paper. As you can see here, these are the short questions and these are the answers of this. Pause this video to read this. I will directly move to the group B part. First question is, what is income statement? An income statement is a financial statement that shows a company's financial performance over a specific accounting period, such as a month, quarter, or year. It summarizes the revenues earned and expenses incurred by the business during that period to determine whether the firm has made a profit or a loss. The income statement begins with total revenue, from which cost of goods sold is deducted to find gross profit. Then operating expenses such as wages, rent, depreciation, and administrative expenses are subtracted to obtain operating profit. After adjusting for non-operating items like interest and taxes, the final result is the net profit or net loss. The income statement helps management, investors, creditors, and analysts to evaluate the probability, operating efficiency, and financial health of a business. It is also known as the profit and loss account. Now move to the next question. Next question is, what is patent? A patent is a legal right granted by the government to an inventor that gives exclusive authority to make, use, sell, or license an invention for a limited period, usually 20 years from the date of filing. The invention may be a new product, process, machine, or technological improvement that is novel, useful, and non-obvious. The main purpose of a patent is to protect intellectual property and encourage innovation by rewarding inventors for their creativity. And investment is research and development. During the patent period, no other person or organization can commercially exploit the invention without the permission of the patent holder. In return for this protection, the inventor must publicly disclose the details of the invention, which helps in the spread of technical knowledge and further development. After the patent expires, the invention enters the public domain and can be freely used by anyone. Next question is, what are recurring cost and non-recurring cost? Recurring cost refers to the expenses that occur repeatedly and regularly during the normal operation of a business or project. These costs are incurred throughout the life of the project and are usually related to day-to-day functioning. Examples of recurring costs include wages and salaries, electricity and water bills, raw materials, maintenance cost, rent, and interest payments. And non-recurring cost refers to the one-time expenses that are incurred only once or occasionally. Usually, at the start or expansion of a project, these costs are not repetitive in nature and are generally associated with initial setup or major updates. Examples include cost of land, buildings, construction, purchase of machinery, installation charges, licenses fees, and initial training costs. Both recurring and non-recurring costs are important for project planning, budgeting, and cost estimation, as they help management evaluate the total cost and financial feasibility of a project. Next question is, how can GST give relief to the overall tax burden? The goods and services tax GST helps reduce the overall tax burden by creating a single unified indirect tax system in place of multiple central and state taxes such as excise duty, VAT, service tax. This eliminates the cascading effect of taxes, where tax was previously charged on tax, thereby lowering the final cost of goods and services. GST allows businesses to claim input tax credit on taxes paid at every stage of production and distribution. This ensures the tax is levied only on the value added, reducing the effective tax burden on manufacturers, traders and consumers. As a result, production costs decrease and prices become more transparent. By simplifying tax compliance and improving efficiency in logistics and supply chains, GST reduces operational cost for businesses. Lower compliance and transportation costs ultimately benefit consumers through reduced prices, thus providing overall relief in the tax burden across the economy. Next question is there any importance of ethics in engineering and engineering economics? Ethics play a very important role in both engineering and engineering economy. Engineers are responsible for designing systems, structures, technologies and that directly affect public safety, health and welfare. Ethic behavior ensures that engineers follow honestly, integrity, professional responsibility while performing their duties. In engineering economy, ethics is essential while making economic decisions, cost estimations and project evaluations. Ethical engineers avoid false data, manipulated cost and biased analysis, ensuring that decisions are fair, transparent and reliable. This helps organizations choose projects that are not only profitable but also socially and environmentally responsible. Ethics also builds trust among employers, clients, investors and society. By following ethical principles, engineers prevent corruption, misuse of resources and unsafe practices, leading to sustainable development and long-term economic benefits. Now move to the next part, Group C. In Group C, the first question is, explain the type of property in the context of depreciation. Types of property in context of depreciation. In depreciation, property is classified based on its physical existence and usage. The main types are tangible property. These are physical assets that can be seen and touched. They lose value due to wear and tear, usage and time. Examples: building, machinery, equipment and vehicles. Number 2 is intangible property. These assets do not have physical form but provide economic benefits over time. Their value reduces due to legal or time limitations like patent, copyrights, trademarks and goodwill. Number 3 is depreciable property. Assets that have a limited useful time and are used in business or income generation like plant, machinery or tools. Number 4 is non-depreciable property. Assets that do not lose value over time or have an indefinite life like land. Next question is, almost all tangible property can be depreciated. Explain. Most tangible properties are depreciated because they are physical assets that lose value due to usage, wear, tear and aging or obsolescence. Since these assets have a limited useful life, their cost is gradually spread over their expected life through depreciation. Examples include machines, buildings, vehicles, furniture and equipment. As these assets are used in business operations, their efficiency decreases, which justifies depreciation. Next question is, one important exception is land, which is never depreciated. Explain. Land is not depreciated because it has an unlimited useful life. Unlike other tangible assets, land does not suffer from wear tear due to usage. Instead of losing value, land often appreciates over time due to factors like development, location and demand. Depreciation is applied only to assets that gradually lose their service potential, but land does not get consumed or exhausted in business operations. Therefore, it does not qualify as a depreciable asset. However, any improvements made on land such as buildings, roads or fencing can be depreciated because these structures have a limited life. Hence, land itself is never depreciated, but improvements on land are. Now move to the next question. Next question is a math. Here the math is solved clearly. Same for this. You just note it down, and if have any problem, then ask me in the comment section. The next question is, what is CPI or retail inflation? CPI is Consumer Price Index, also known as retail inflation, measures the average change over time in the prices paid by consumers for a fixed basket of goods and services. This basket includes food, clothing, housing, fuel, healthcare, education, and transportation. CPI reflects the cost of living of the general public and shows how much consumers must spend to maintain the same standard of living over time. When CPI rises, it indicates inflation, meaning the purchasing power of money decreases. CPI is widely used by government, economists, and central bank to measure to retail inflation, adjust wages, pensions, and allowances, frame monetary and fiscal policies, compare inflation levels over different periods. In India, CPI is the main inflation indicator used by Reserve Bank of India for policy decisions. Now move to the next question. Next question is also a math, which is shown here. Just note it down. And here illustrate the model of balance sheet. For this question, you must have to show this balance sheet structure in your exam paper, okay? And you have to mention these properties as well. Now go to the next question. Next question is, what are the steps involved in rational decision making process? The rational decision making process follows a systematic approach to choose the best possible alternative. The main steps are: identification of problem, clearly define the problem or decision that needs to be made. Number 2, establishment of objectives, specify the goals objective to be achieved through the decision. Number 3, identification of alternatives, list of all feasible alternatives or courses of action. Number 4, collection of relevant information, gather technical, economic, financial, and operational data related to each alternative. Estimation of cost and benefits, estimate the costs, benefits, revenues, and consequences of each alternative. Number 6, evaluation of alternatives, compare alternatives using economic analysis tools such as NPV, IRR, B/C ratio, or cost effectiveness analysis. Number 7, selection of best alternative, choose the alternative that best meets the objectives under given constraints. Number 8, implementation and monitoring, implement the decision and monitor outcomes from corrective actions if required. And the next question is, usual aspects of engineering decision making. Engineering decision making has several unique or unusual aspects compared to routine business decisions. Number 1, long-term impact. Engineering decisions often have long lifespans and affect future generations. Number 2, high capital investment. Large initial investments make decisions difficult to reverse. Number 3, uncertainty and risk. Decisions involve uncertain factors such as market demand, technology changes, and inflation. Number 4, multiple and conflicting objectives. Engineers must balance cost, safety, quality, reliability, and environmental concerns. Number 5, technological complexity. Engineering decisions require specialized technical knowledge and expertise. Number 6, ethical and social responsibility. Public safety, environmental protection, and ethical standards must be considered. Number 7, irreversibility of decisions. Many engineering decisions cannot be easily modified once implemented. And next, move to the next question. This question is already done in previous question paper, so I am not going to do this again. If this video helped you, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.